All right, it is, I don't know, 7:20 on a Monday night. We're gonna prep some Pathfinder. So we're in the new office. We're in the new, we're on the new computer. Office still under construction. Everything's still being kind of moved and set up, and haven't put all the shelves up and everything yet. Got extra life going on in 20 days, 19 days, 18 days. So the focus has kind of been on that. But we can't fall behind on our games. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something we need to look at. All right. So here we are. I believe we are streaming to all our platforms. Maybe. That's something we need to look at. Yeah, sounds like it. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So, first time logging into this Foundry server on this new computer, so the cookies needed to be reset for some of the hotkeys and core settings. So I think I have those set up, and mods are up to date. We're somehow behind another version of Pathfinder 2. Could have sworn I ran updates yesterday. So between yesterday and today, we have a new version. Oh, thank you. So we gotta keep going. All right. If you are in chat and you can hear this, oh, thank you, Dom. If you're 32 months, Jesus Christ. If you are in chat and you hear the sound, let me know what the sound quality is. Let me know if the music is too loud. Yeah, one of the things I'm working on trying to do more of as a DM is meta cutscenes. So, Darby from our server, he actually was kind of bouncing ideas back and forth with me earlier today about what would be some good cutscenes for book 1, right? And what I mean by cutscenes is music is low, can't hear music, voice is good to go. All right, well, that's good to know the music's low. All right, well, that means I can turn it up a little bit. There we go. Okay. So we were talking about what would necessitate good cutscenes, and what I mean by cutscenes is everyone's seen Star Wars. You're watching Star Wars, you know who the movie's about, right? The movie's about Han Solo, like we're talking about the good Star Wars. It's about Han Solo and like Luke Skywalker and all that shit, and like, you know, that's who it's about. That's the adventuring party. But then, right, as the audience, we get to see stuff like Darth Vader choking a bitch because he's upset, right? Because, how could they escape? Don't fail me again. Choke, 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 right? It's like that in everything we watch and enjoy, right? Like, nobody likes to watch a movie or a show and then they drop like a big surprise on you where you as the audience, you had no clues, you had no idea, and then all of a sudden the writers are like, this is how it is, and you're like, what do you mean this is how it is? Why? How would I know that this is how it is? But if you think about it, in an effort to make D&D a very first-person immersive experience, right? We deny the players who are also the audience, we deny them knowing what the hell's going on, right? And even the actors in the shows that you like, right? They get to read the script. So when they're portraying the characters, they know a little bit more than the characters know, which informs them a bit. Not, you know how I feel about spoilers, but listen to me. It informs them a bit on how to act and how things work in the world that is that story or is that movie. So, how do we do this in a way that informs and guides and enhances the story without showing too much? And therein lies in my opinion, the craft, right, of using this new tool. Like, it's not new at all, but it's new to me. So, like, I don't want to spoil the campaign, right? I don't want to just say, like, well, you guys are doing this, this is happening, yeah, right? Like, you don't want to take away the opportunity for people in a drama or a mystery to solve that on their own, right? Sometimes it works. Like, there's an old detective show called Columbo where they show you the murder. And then the whole show is about how does Columbo, who figures the case out instantly because he's such a good detective, how does he get the murderer to just crack, essentially? It's psychological warfare, right? So that's the genre. It's not solving a mystery. It's fucking with people. So you don't want to take that away from the players. You don't want to be like, I wonder what's going to happen in this campaign. So much mystery. And then you just tell them what the mystery is in your cutscenes. You want to do that. But in this adventure, particularly, I think that the meta cutscene is going to enhance the adventure, because if you've been following the prepping for this campaign and even the running of this campaign, I had to, even though I said I was going to try to run this as raw as possible, I had to add a different intro to the campaign of Loveless and Muglin trying to get rid of the player characters in the middle of the desert in the middle of the night, right? So, like, because otherwise they just are supposed to hate these guys because I told them you're supposed to hate them because the adventure says these are the bad guys. There's nothing that these people do raw that really makes them the bad guys. Like, they want to get rich just like everybody else in Alkenstar. They're not really the bad guys. They're the bad guys because the adventure tells you these are the bad guys. But they don't get a chance. They don't have an opportunity to be the bad guys. And I don't know if it's like the writers were afraid of how far they wanted to go, or if this adventure is supposed to be like PG-13. I don't know exactly where they decided to draw the line with that kind of stuff, but a good example is they have a meta cutscene built into the adventure. When you are going from the scrapyard back to the hideout, they're just like, hand wave the sewers, right? Like, hand wave the sewers. They've already been through too much. Also, we didn't want to write a sewer adventure or include a map for the sewers. They've already had enough. Just let them go through the sewers. However, as they're traveling through the sewers, trigger this cutscene. Literally, that is the adventure. It says, on their way back, traveling through sewers, this is what they overhear, right? So this adventure, I think, acknowledges that there aren't enough opportunities to create that experience, to create that connection to the bad guys. So I feel like having a script, a guide, in between adventures, in between chapters, because this is very much written in a chapter format, a linear chapter format, this is an excellent opportunity then to hint at what comes next, show what's happening in the background, and then build out the, we'll call it, parasocial relationship between the heroes and the villains, right? Because they don't have a lot of opportunities to tit for tat back and forth to each other. Curse of Strahd, they encourage you to have Strahd. I'm going to spoil it for you. Strahd's a bad guy in that. To have him interact with the party as early as possible. They want it to be known that he is interested in the party and he is curious about the party and he is building a relationship with the party. In Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, I did a rewrite to that adventure wherein you meet both the main villains very early on in the adventure because they are literal gods worshipped by the people, the same people you are trying to save from those gods. So I wanted to create this situation where the people come across as kind of idiots, right? Like blind worshippers. They don't understand the danger that they're in, but the party does. And so it's very awkward because, like, here's the bad guy, but they can't do anything to the bad guy because everyone loves the bad guy because that's their god. They don't really understand why anybody would go against them yet, right? This campaign could benefit from moments like that where we can see, even if we aren't seeing with our own eyes, we can see as the audience of the story, because we are both the tellers of the story and the audience of the story in a tabletop RPG. Excuse me. We can see, oh yeah, they're bad. These are some bad dudes. They're up to bad shit. And that's what I want to work on today. So, now that I've rambled on for like 11 minutes, we got 30 minutes before the game. Whew. Let's do a quick, what is the group going to get up to today? So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to roll it back, and I'm going to give them the chapter intermission cutscene that we're about to write. Then this group has already done their initial investigation. They know the places, the 3 places they need to go and investigate. There's a 4th location, which is Hellside chase scene. A 5th location that is a pseudo dungeon, dockside hideout kind of thing. And that's the whole fucking book, right? No, maybe? I don't know. I think so. I think that's the book. So I feel pretty confident about that. They were talking about wanting to do a rodeo. So I've got this Ridgeback Rodeo Arena right here. Load it up in a second. They made it out of the junkyard and finally need to do some more prep. Yeah, in a way. I mean, the whole adventure's prepped. So I don't really have a lot of prep to do. So much as just sitting down and, you know, like refreshing the adventure in my mind and everything. So here is the rodeo arena, I guess. I have some very light rules that I wrote for the rodeo. Here we go. We'll do like this. There we go. Awesome. So I have, yeah, they're, again, it's super rudimentary. Rodeo rules. American-style professional rodeos generally comprise the following events: tie-down roping, team roping, steer wrestling, steer roping, saddle bronc riding, bareback bronc riding, bull riding, and barrel racing. The events are divided into 2 basic categories: the rough stock events and the timed events. So some of the ones, after doing research into this, research that I could have done without, I decided that some of the events would be tie-down roping. It's a rodeo event that features a calf and a rider mounted on a horse. The goal of this timed event is for the rider to catch the calf by throwing a loop of rope from a lariat around its neck, dismount from the horse, run to the calf, and restrain it by tying 3 legs together in as short a time as possible. So how this would translate into Pathfinder is it would be a extended skill challenge. And essentially, it is an animal handling for riding. And then you would set the DC equal to, oh my god. You would set the DC equal to however challenging you wanted this fucking thing to be. They have to catch a calf, or say a dinosaur in this case. So they're gonna throw it, the lasso, and do the thing. So that is going to be a ranged attack. And then after they've done that, there's going to be a ranged trip attack. So technically, I guess athletics, right? That's how you do a trip attack. Question mark? Then it would be thievery to tie it up. You would need 3 successes. And the 3 successes would be... Hold on. Hind legs, forelegs, hog tie. Alright. So, 4 legs. Nice. There you go. You are not helping me at all. Autocorrect. Cool. Is it over if they fail the check? No, because it says you're trying to do it in as short a time as possible. So it wouldn't fail if they don't make it, but you could, to speed things up, have a time limit, essentially, right? So thievery, these are 2 actions each, you would argue. And you can do 3 actions in a turn. So 6, so that'd be 2. So first place would be 3 turns. And then second place would be 4 turns. And then third place would be 5 turns. Essentially. Alright, so with all of that sort of figured out, you would enter initiative, and then, let's see, you would take actions to try to finish it as quickly as possible. So somebody that was really good at thievery, they could do thievery with a single action instead of 2 actions, that would be, I suppose, more suited to this particular challenge. But ideally, you would need animal handling, athletics, and thievery to pull this one off and be the winner, essentially. Complications. Okay, so the complications would be... let's see... Alright, on handle animal, bucked off mount, and then it would be 2 actions to stand up, bucked off mount, comma, knocked prone. 2 actions to stand up and remount. Okay. Ranged trip attack. If you miss, you miss, but we would say critical. Alright, so here we go. Miss 1 action to I don't know, to prepare next lasso toss. And then critical failure, lasso dropped. 3 actions to retrieve and remount. So yeah, it'd be really hard to get first place in this event. And then with the thievery successes, we could put here crit fail, animal bucks loose, 1 action to catch up. Bucks loose. Remove 1 success, comma, if any. There we go. So there you go. That would be a tie-down roping competition. All right, so we go to steer wrestling. Steer wrestling, also known as bulldogging, is a rodeo event in which a horse-mounted rider chases a steer, drops from the horse to the steer, then wrestles the steer to the ground by grabbing its horns, pulling it off balance so that it falls to the ground. No tools of any kind are allowed. Okay, so this would be an event that is an extended skill challenge. Don't like that. All right, hold on. Ugh. Okay. There we go. All right. So it's a handle animal to successfully ride up to the creature. And then it would be a leap. I think leap is also athletics. This whole challenge would just be athletics. Leap action to jump from saddle. And then it would be athletics to grapple. Athletics to prone. Athletics to pin. And that would be it, right? And then athletics to hold. All right. So it would be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 checks. Lasso tangled, thievery to untangle. Ooh, that's good. That's better than dropping it. All right, lasso tangled. 2 action thievery to untangle. I like that. That's better than having to hop off your mount like a dope dumbass. Alright, so here's just athletics out the wazoo, essentially. To grapple, to prone, to pin, and to hold pin. Alright, so we would put here then, failure. Or here, critical failure. I should probably zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Actually better. It doesn't help too much, but whatevs. Critical failure. You are not prone. Need 1 action to stand. And then this right here would be athletics to knock them prone. Critical failure. Creature escapes. Grapple. And you have to start all over again. So this could be really hard to do if you critically fail at any point. There you go. So a perfect round, assuming the leap action is... I think the leap action is 2 Pac-Mans. Hold on. Let's see. Nope, you're not a real actor. Okay, cool. Good to know. Alright, this is Triceratops out here. Hi, Triceratops. Alright. Leap. Jump? Okay. Damn, Triceratops got a plus 21 to that shit? Oh my god. Alright. Pathfinder 2E. Jump. Okay. Let's see. Climbing, forcing open, grappling. High jumping and long jumping are 2 actions. let's see. I believe riding is based on commanding an animal. So yeah, it wouldn't be called handle animal. It'd be called command an animal. There you go. Why does it say handle animal? It should say critical failure. Oh well. Words are hard. Alright. So ideally this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you did it perfectly, it would be the same metric. First place would be 3, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Alright, so that seems good enough for me, right? Those will be the two events that they have going. There were other ones like barrel racing that looked cool and mounted marksman. So barrel guard is you stop a Triceratops from destroying barrels. An empty barrel weighs approximately 90 pounds, aka 4 bulk. I don't know what the stats are on a barrel. So let me see. Stats of a barrel, Pathfinder 2E. Just follows the material asset rules or whatever. So it would be wood chest. All right, that sounds right. So it would be 5, 20, and 10. So a Triceratops would pretty much one-shot a fucking barrel. Is what it's saying here. It would just fucking one-shot a barrel. How they stop the Triceratops is not my problem. That's what I like the most about Barrel Guard. I think Barrel Guard's actually pretty exciting because, you know, it is what it is, essentially. Now, what if they want to use a Clockwork Horse? If they use a Clockwork Horse, they can use crafting instead of command an animal for their riding skill. And that's all the time we're going to spend on Rodeo minigame, because now we only got 14 minutes till the game, because I got so distracted by that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make a new document, and we're going to call it UA Cutscenes. Alright, so book 1, and we're going to put chapter 2, because we kind of missed our opportunity to do this with chapter 1. Now, Darby had pretty good suggestions here. Lovelace hired the cleaners, aka Dewey Daystar, to get Gattleby, but she's really hoping that he dies. Why? I believe she already knows about Alamon. It's just bad writing, honestly. Powder Keg Punks hired by Shoma Lyserius to get the Pyronite formula from Gattleby or bring him in for questioning. Shoma is a rival of Gattleby and sees him weak for not selling the bombs to the gangs. Shoma hints that he is in big debt and more likely Mugland and the pressure behind the hiring of the Powder Keg Punks. Shoma tells the party about so that's the recap essentially. So Darby's suggestion for chapter 2 was Mugland yelling at Lovelace for hiring the cleaners as Gattleby could have blown himself up with the formula. Lovelace saying there are more than one way to crack an egg, hints at other possibilities to show Lovelace his true control. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to use this here AI, and we're going to cheat, I guess. Alright, so here's this AI. We're going to go ahead and start a new one, and we're going to say, well, actually, I have an Alkenstar campaign here. There we go. Alright, so in our Alkenstar campaign, which is only on 3.5, so I kind of want to start it over again on a 4.0. Okay. Alright, I am writing some short scenes for my steampunk western crime drama. Heavily influenced by Netflix, Arcane, and HBO's Deadwood. I am going to give you some prompts, and I would like you to create a short script for a scene inspired by the prompt. Sounds good. Make sure we spell everything right so it doesn't have to waste any of its brains fixing our mistakes. Alright. Of course, I'm excited to help. Please provide the first prompt. Alright, so we'll go and grab Darby's suggestion here. Mugland, a short, angry, corrupt businessman with a mustache and a foul mouth, comma, is yelling at Loveless, a sexy elven... No, they hate the word sexy, hold on. An attractive but evil elven police officer for her hiring of the clear water cleaners to kill the alchemist Galby. I would probably be easier just to write this my fucking self. What was she thinking? They can't risk being caught out this early in the game. Period. The man could, there you go, have blown himself up with the formula. Period. Loveless saying there are more than one ways to crack an egg, hints at other possibilities and shows Loveless to control. All right, let's see how it goes. The title of the scene is Shattered Control. The setting is a dimly lit, lavish office filled with wooden furniture, intricate gears, and other steampunk paraphernalia. Heavy curtains block the sunlight, and steam pipes run along the walls. In the center stands a grand mahogany desk upon which rest a series of documents. Mugland, a stout man dressed in an opulent suit, paces furiously behind the desk, his face red with rage. Loveless, a tall and graceful elven woman in fine tailored police uniform, stands nearby with a composed demeanor. Okay. Mugland says, Loveless, what in the blazes were you thinking? Hiring the Clearwater Cleaners. That alchemist, Gattleby, could have easily blown himself up with that damned formula. Ooh, potty mouth. We can't risk exposing ourselves this early. Loveless, calmly, almost smugly. Mugland, your paranoia amuses me. Sometimes it's not just about the immediate kill. It's about sending a message. Damn, okay. Mugland says, a message? With those buffoons? They're as discreet as a bull in a china shop. Gattleby could have died with these experiments on his own. No one would have suspected a thing. But now? Now there's a target on our backs. Loveless, circling the desk, her voice seductive and cool. Oh, Mugland, always playing it safe. Yet the world isn't made for those who cower in the shadows. It's made for those who control them. And sometimes there's more than one way to crack an egg. Mugland, sputtering. Ugh! That's damn reckless attitude. We need to be more cautious, especially with something as volatile as Gattleby's formula. Loveless, stopping right in front of him, looking down into his eyes. You see, while you would be busy being outraged, I've already set other plans in motion. Plans that even the Clearwater Cleaners aren't privy to. Gattleby is just one piece of the puzzle. I always have contingencies. Muglin, swallowing hard, his voice shaky. What have you done? Lovelace, smiling. Just ensuring our survival, dear Muglin. Just ensuring we remain on top where we belong. So instead of questioning my methods, perhaps you should be thanking me. Muglin, taking a step back. You're playing a dangerous game, Lovelace. Lovelace, whispering into his ear. And aren't dangerous games the most exhilarating? She gives him a knowing smirk, leaving him both fearful and in awe of her power and control. And scene. What the fuck? Okay. Works for me. That was excellent work. You are very talented. Thank you so much for your kind words. Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, you're working hard. Alright, let's see. Amory going to a Temple of Bree to see Kosawana. I feel like this is good enough for now. I think like this is good enough for now. Maybe cut at Muglin's, what have you done? Maybe. I kind of like this. I don't know. I like the whole scene, really. I think the whole scene's pretty good. Because, like, I think that she knows that Muglin is in a bad way. So, like, I don't know. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. So, let's go ahead and extract this. Put it over here. Alright, so setting, dimly lit, blah 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 blah. Okay. Alright, and then because we're bad at reading, we'll go ahead and divide this up as much as possible. I don't know why it's not showing me my whole document there. There we go. Alright. Okay. A message with those buffoons. There's discreet as a bull in a china shop. I'm gonna put now. If we had left that dipshit, Gattleby alone long enough, he would have offed himself, botching another one of his own experiments, period. And no one would have suspected a thing. But now there's a target on our backs. I don't think there's a target on our backs, but I'm gonna put now he's off the board. We have buyers. Loveless. And no product. No fucking product. Ooh, I like that. Give him more of a potty mouth. I mean, if things get out of hand, Loveless can just arrest Muglin and spin the evidence. Yep. Okay. So, let's see. Loveless, what in the blazes were you thinking? Hiring the Clearwater Cleaners. That alchemist, Gattleby, could have easily blown himself up with that damned formula. We can't risk exposing ourselves this early. Then... calmly, almost smugly, mugging your paranoid music. Sometimes it's not just about those, it's about sending a message. I like that because it doesn't even explain what she's talking about. Like, it's so like bad guy speech. I just love it. Circling the desk. Oh, Muglin, always playing it safe. Yet the world isn't made for those who cower in the shadows. It's made for those who control them. And sometimes there's more than one way to crack an egg. I don't know about more than one way to crack an egg. I feel like she'd be more into skinning cats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll say to skin a cat. Oh shit, it's game time. Oh yeah, my bad. Later.